Straight to our top story. We've now confirmed that the F-18 pilot that crashed overnight near Air Station Miramar in San Diego has died. The Marine fighter jet crashed near Interstate 15. The cause of the crash still unknown. San Diego first responders dispatched more than a dozen trucks, helos, and brush rigs to the scene. Roughly 78 emergency workers were involved in the search and still are. ABC News senior Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez joins me now. So, Louis, any new details this hour?
Kira, just moments ago, we learned from a defense official that the pilot of this F-18 Hornet has perished in this crash. We don't have many other details about exactly what happened, but we do have that new breaking detail that, unfortunately, the pilot of this aircraft has perished. What we do know is that this was a training mission, an F-18 pilot flying a nighttime mission, and apparently this aircraft crashed shortly before midnight near Miramar Marine Corps Air Station. I apologize for not getting that right. But this is a very large base outside of San Diego, and a lot of activity, a lot of flights being carried out from this very large base in the San Diego area. We know that an immediate search and rescue mission was launched to try to find the pilot, or pilots at that time. It was unclear exactly who was aboard the aircraft. But we do know that there was a lot of fog on the scene at the time that kind of hampered the efforts by Coast Guard helicopter that was on the scene looking for in the wreckage, as well as officials on the ground who were trying to find the pilot. We do know that this incident is currently under investigation, so a lot of questions remain exactly what has happened here, but the late word is that the pilot who was aboard that aircraft has perished, according to a defense official.
Okay, so two questions for you. One is, do we know if the pilot actually ejected, Louis?
That's one question, Kira, that I've been asking of several officials, and they are still unclear. Of course, this is a very fast-moving situation. Yes, it did happen almost 12 hours ago, but when you don't have the details, when you don't have a line of sight, it can be very complicated to try to determine exactly what happened. Typically, when pilots go up on missions, they are accompanied by their wingman. That's where that expression comes from. It's very rare that you actually see military aircraft or fighter aircraft flying solo. Typically, they are in tandem. So what you usually rely on is that pilot or the pilots of that other aircraft to be able to spot a parachute or an ejection from an aircraft as it's going down. We don't have that information yet, whether that was actually spotted or not. There is some scanner traffic, radio communications from local officials that indicated that potentially a pilot had ejected, but that's unconfirmed through officials here at the Pentagon and through the Marine Corps.
And Louis, one more question, if you don't mind. I'm actually texting with some sources there at Miramar, some of the F-18 pilots saying, and again, this is just information coming to me, maybe you can work your sources and confirm this, that it was an aircraft from 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing, which is stationed at Cherry Point, North Carolina. Have you heard anything about that, and could you possibly work to confirm that as well?
The information that we have, Kara, is that this was an aircraft that was not stationed at the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing in Miramar. This was a unit, an East Coast unit. I don't have the specificity that you have in your communications, but I do know that this was an East Coast-based aircraft, a part of a unit that was training on the West Coast at Miramar. Regular training takes place like that, where you rotate units from one base to another because of different conditions, different flight operations that are undertaken at different areas, and it's part of the training that our pilots undergo regularly. They want to improve their skills, and they want to train wherever they can. And so, yes, I do have information that confirms that this was an East Coast-based unit, and that this is where this aircraft came from, not to the level of specificity that you have.
Got it. All right, let's keep working it together. Louis, really appreciate it, as always. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.